Now we move on to our next story. Tensions remain high ahead of the G7 summit as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky plans to urge US President Donald Trump to impose tougher sanctions on Russia. Peace talks have stalled, with Moscow refusing to halt its 3-year invasion and only prisoner swaps agreed so far. President Trump, meanwhile, says he's disappointed in both Kyiv and Moscow for failing to reach a deal. Speaking to reporters, Trump claimed deals could have been made and lamented the continuing civilian death toll. Zelensky, however, remains hopeful. At a press conference in Kyiv, he said he plans to speak with Trump directly at the summit, pressing for a new sanctions package still pending White House approval. Let us listen in.
Як я вже і сказав, цей санкційний пакет для нас дуже важливий. Грема, імплементальний, і ви знаєте, що ми обговорювали деталі, вони до нас приїжджали, вони дуже позитивно ставляться до цього. І ми їм за це дійсно вдячні, але все одно кінцеве рішення, воно у Білому домі, залежить від президентства. Я розраховую, що у нас буде розмова на саміті G7. І дуже розраховую, що якщо до цього не будуть прийняті відповідні рішення, що мені вдасться мати принаймні порозуміння, наскільки ми близькі до цього рішення. Важливо, що йде координація з країнами Європейського Союзу і узгодження позицій, схожих позицій щодо пакетів санкцій. Я вважаю, що це вже
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is also pushing a bipartisan bill calling for a massive 500% tariff on countries that continue buying Russian oil, a move aimed at nations like China and India. On the battlefield, Zelensky says Ukrainian troops are gradually pushing back Russian forces in the Sumy region. Moscow has taken more than 190 square kilometers there in under a month. Let us listen in.
Була сьогодні доповідь головкома Сирського. Фронт, передусім Покровський напрямок, Курська операція, прикордоння Сумщини. Наші підрозділи на Сумщині потроху відштовхують окупанта. Дякую вам.
And in Rome, Ukraine's foreign minister expressed hopes to end the war this year, blasting Russia for hitting civilian targets, while also criticizing nations that openly celebrated Russia's national holiday. Let's listen in.
Вони б'ють по цивільних, вони б'ють по дітях, по лікарнях. Тому цю війну треба закінчувати, і Україна до цього готова. Ми прагнемо закінчити цю війну цього року, тому так важливий тиск на агресора щодо досягнення перемир'я, яке відкриє дорогу для подальших широких перемовин.
Now we move on to North America. A mistrial has been declared in Harvey Weinstein's New York retrial on key rape charge. The jury could not reach a verdict in the case involving Jessica Mann. The judge said jury deliberations had turned hostile, with one member even threatening another. Earlier this week, Weinstein was convicted for sexual assault on Miriam Haley, but declared in the case involving Kaja Sakola. The former Hollywood mogul, now 73 years old and in a wheelchair, is already serving 16 years for a separate conviction in California. His defense team claimed jurors were influenced by other high-profile cases, including those of P. Diddy and R. Kelly, but the judge dismissed that argument. Prosecutors insist that they will seek a new trial on the Mann charge, despite defense claims it would be unfair. The jury room turmoil included accusations of intimidations, leading the foreman to refuse to continue. The case once again highlights the legacy of the Me Too movement and the fall of one of the Hollywood's most powerful figures. Now we stay in Hollywood. The federal sex trafficking trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs is entering a crucial stage, as cross-examination of his ex-girlfriend, identified only as Jane, wrapped up on Thursday. Combs, who is 55, has pleaded not guilty to 5 felony charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Prosecutors claim he coerced women into drug-fueled sexual performances called freak-offs over a span of 2 decades. The defense admits Koom was occasionally abusive in relationships but insists the encounters were consensual. This marks week 5 of testimony. If convicted on all counts, Coombs could face life in prison. Known throughout his career as Puff Daddy and P. Diddy, Coombs was a major force in American music, launching stars like Usher and Notorious B.I.G. and becoming a billionaire along the way. Now we move on to Asia. BTS fans turned Seoul purple on Friday to mark the K-pop giant's 12th anniversary, and this year the Festa celebrations come with major excitement. With 6 members being discharged and 1 to be discharged on 21st June from military service, the band is poised for a massive comeback. Festa is being held in Goyang, just outside of the capital, and the city has been transformed into a giant fan zone. Even the BTS agency HYBE is wrapped in a giant slogan, "We are back." But the hype isn't just fan-driven. Analysts predict HYBE's profit could surge 150% by 2026 as BTS returns to the global stage. Jhope is slated to perform today, Friday, and fans are hoping other members will join him for a surprise reunion on stage. This week also saw a security incident. A woman was detained outside Jungkook's luxury apartment shortly after his release from service. And with China's unofficial K-pop ban possibly lifting, the group could be set for a historic world tour with at least 3 million fans expected to attend. Now we move on to Asia. At least 20 senior Iranian commanders, including head of Revolutionary Guards Aerospace Force Hajizadeh, killed in Israeli airstrike. According to 2 sources, Israel Foreign Minister Saar tells France that actions against Iran will continue. Tensions escalate. Well, that's all.